and welcome. Good evening to all who are out there. Welcome, friend, foe, and undeclared. Welcome to something special here, as this is not Dungeons and Dragons. This is something a bit more easy, let's put it that way. A bit more narrative. And I'm here with a host of friends from the apically named Poltergeist. So if we can just go, let's start with short introductions of who you are, who you'll be playing, just basically your name and your high concept. So let's start with Nirma.
Hi, I'll be playing Norma Ashbraid, war veteran dwarf. Who's got a
Ren?
little bit
Nope.
of a problem with the underground.
Ren?
Hi, I'm Lynx, and I'll be playing Ren Smellspike, a ex-metal factory worker who turned into an underground boxer.
Lilio or Lilio?
Yes, hello, I'm Mareike or Mika, and I will be playing Lelio, a half-elf on the run from his past.
And finally, Mike.
Hello, I'm Nadine, and I'll be playing Mike Faraday, a former special ops sharpshooter who has gone underground because he knew too much.
And all of these have been hanging around a not quite so illicit bar called the Poltergeist, but we will get to that in a minute. As mentioned before, we are playing Fate Accelerated. A narrative-driven game where aspects are truth. You'll see that as we move into the mechanics during the game. But just so for those who are discovering for the first time, we will not be rolling d20s, as a lot of games do, but we will be rolling fudge dice. These are dice with a little plus, zeros, and negatives. Roll those four, add your bonus, and that gives you basically the result that you are getting. Now, why am I terrified of this game? It's because I'm not the only game master here. Every single one of my players will have opportunities and resources to spend to add aspects to a scene, change the world around them according to what they would want. Sometimes opening all of a sudden, just where there was a wall, there is now a door, or a chandelier, or discovering specific aspects of the scene that I had not thought of before. Does the wide-brimmed man in the alleyway have a limp? Are they actually a woman? That kind of thing. And so this is not only a sandbox, but it's sandbox squared, as in I have no idea where this is going. So, and I'm looking to Ren there below and reassuring them, we are all terrified. Right. In a sense, is there any other things that we... Oh, yes. One thing. I would like actually to give a shout out to the actual Poltergeist crew, who have done the miracle of having us meet each other, one and all. And so this goes out to you guys. So thank you for that. Any other things that we want to go before we get into the intro? No?
Nope.
Okay. So, without further ado, here we start. Let's get some ambience going, and then we'll see where it goes from there. A man is walking. That's usually how these stories start, right? He's walking alongside the canal, moving down from Old Town to New Town, here in Second City. Second city. Nobody today really knows if there ever was a first city, or if it even went by another name once. The name's just accepted. He walks a fast pace, despite the obvious limp to his left leg. The collar of his high coat worn high to protect himself against the cold winds in this autumn evening. Occasionally, his hand leaves the confines of the warm pocket to steady his hat. No gloves. He doesn't actually think they make gloves that big. Big hands, calloused hands, scarred hands. As he steps away from the canal into the next street, the wind picks up, bringing him the scent of the Great Lakes on the northern edge of town. A rare boon, as the air here is usually thick with smog coming from the steel factories at the shoreline. At least the strikes are good for one thing. As the first drops of a frozen rain appear in the streetlights, he reaches his destination. A cellar bar, former speakeasy gone legit, with an illuminated sign above the sinking stairs. The Poltergeist. We see him take one last deep breath of the evening air, and then move towards the door. Now, the rest of you, it's been a quiet night in the bar. Come on, play, please. There we go. It's been a quiet night in the bar. Patrons are few, even if it is quite early. The halfling bartenders, Millie Ann and Ann Millie, indistinguishable as any halflings would be, are bustling around, bringing drinks to some, washing tables. Things have been okay. But then again, the Poltergeist is not a place where one comes to drink and socialize. A lot of patrons here come to forget. Or just to wait for an opportunity from the man in the back. The chime of the door rings as the before mentioned walking man steps in. You see him, his large gray overcoat, worn with age, starting to show patches of rain. He pulls down his hat, takes off his coat, and places on the coat rack next to the entrance, shakes his boot off, and moves down. As the stairs in the room all turn to him, trying to assess if he's client or employee. He notices this. I mean, he's a bit taken aback, a bit shy at first, but his hands tense with resolve and he moves to the bar. Stepping down, eyes on him, loosen and just go back to whatever you're doing. What'll be your poison, stranger? Millie Ann asks. Or is it Ann Millie? Not sure. Let's say Millie Ann. He's in the back, if you're looking for that. The man grunts. Well, I'll have your drink waiting for when you come out. He nods. realizing that he forgot to order a drink. Just make it tomato juice, please. The bartender nods. And he moves to the back. Just around the bar, there's a series of stairs that go up. And with just a little sort of placard there with an arrow towards the top, just says help. Nirma, what are you doing tonight?
Norma is sitting at an out of the way table, but from which she can see the whole room. Back to the wall, chair a little bit askew. She's sitting, enjoying her beer, and the few notes of music floating in the air. Probably when she's thinking, fidgeting, playing with some sort of mechanical device she has in her hand.
Regularly, Anne Millie would stop by, maybe sort of hopping up just to see what's on the table, mumble something about getting oil into the wood. But right now, sort of places a drink in front of you and then moves on. As we follow her to the next booth, Ren, where are you?
Ren is sitting at their usual table at the bar, like very close to the bar, with their back turned to the rest of the people. They're not really interested in who is there, who else is there. They have noticed the stranger coming in, but otherwise they know everyone who's here regularly, so there's no point in looking at them a lot. They're currently on their second glass of rum and shortly considering going home and then just laughing at themselves, waving to Millie and for another drink.
Bartender reacts to your sign and says, well, maybe I should cut you off here. Who knows what you might be getting in, huh? You might have another drink coming to you. Or if you order yourself, you might not be in the state to accept that drink.
You talk in riddles, as always. I just want another drink.
Customers in the back. Not a lot of folks here tonight. It'd be a shame if you were pissed while listening to the client, don't you think?
You're probably right.
Don't worry, hon. I'll make it a special for you.
Right.
Lelio, where are you?
Lelio is sitting at a table halfway facing the room, building a house of cards and looking at Millie Ann, who's probably approaching him, and hello, favorite bartender. So, what is it I hear? There's a customer in the house? You think we can expect anything tonight?
I mean, you know just as much as me. Guy walked in, went in the back. If he comes out or not, well, Sis'll know. Don't worry, hon. I'll make sure you're in the case. Been a bit of hard times lately?
Oh, well, I keep myself busy, you know. But yeah, looking forward to whatever's coming out of the door.
Don't worry. Your tab's safe with me.
Thank you.
Mike, what are you up to?
Mike's coming into the bar looking for Lilio, who he knew he'd be in here, as always, at the gambling tables. So he makes his way straight to Lilio's table, ordering a drink on his way when the waiter passes him by. The whiskey as usual.
Yeah. Just in time there, Mike. We've got one. Maybe.
Maybe. What loses is this time?
I don't know. Anyways. Have a seat, I'll get you something. Usually whiskey. You want the chaser with that?
Sure.
Okay.
Noma has watched the stranger come in and while playing and fidgeting with a toy still analyzes him. Are there clues about his clothing, his demeanor, his race, anything that tells us a little bit about why he could be coming in here?
Okay. Well, let's make this into the first roll of the game, shall we? Let's talk about discovering aspects. So, first thing, how would you go about it? Choose one of your approaches as to how you would think you would be discovering these aspects.
Noma, just like Mike actually is a war veteran. I think it would be the eye of, is this person a threat? Is there anything dangerous going on about this person? So it's purely the instincts of, okay, how much do I have to be careful around them? How much
Yeah, okay.
how much do their clothing tell me about? Are they hiding something? Is there anything hidden under the clothing? Can I detect any concealed equipment?
So this sounds like a careful roll.
Careful, yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you roll me careful.
Okay.
So that's a 2. Fair. A fair success. Apart from the pre-mentioned limp, the hands, the burly size of him, you notice that his ear, one of his ears, is sort of cauliflowered, marking him as a boxer, or at least somebody who got hit to the head a couple of times. You also notice that the clothes are, how should I put this? Tight on him. This is a suit, well dressed, but it does seem like he's been. It's the first time he's put it on in a while. Too new to that old face. Anyone else? So, by the way, this and all, you can basically add to the aspects of this stranger. Former boxer. So I will actually move you now. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move you to the conspiracy board.
Haha, there you are.
feel free to. I will put up a token. And underneath that set token, you will be able to more or less just write whatever you want about him. Let's take you here. There we go. I would recommend you write in white on the blackboard.
I chosen light gray, but
Yeah.
something that's that we can read.
There we go.
So what did you say about the stranger?
I said one aspect of him is former boxer.
Mm-hmm.
The minutes pass. The meeting seems to be going well. Usually the man in the back or Mr. Smoke, as he's known across the one of his numerous nicknames. Usually when he takes this long, it means he's considering the case. It takes about 10 minutes before the man comes back out again. There's a tumbler, sort of cocktail glass with tomato juice, a piece of celery inside, which he just grabs. And the bartender shows him to a table. The red table. This is one that you know is never occupied by any drinking persons. The bar might be filled, but that one stays empty. Except when you are invited. And Millie Ann's behind the bar now. You see her line up onto the bar 4 shot glasses. And in each is poured a ruby red liquid. Now, if this were any other night, all the attention of everyone would be on these glasses, because each one of those shot glasses is an invitation to a payday. But here the bar stands fairly empty, and the only 4 that seem interested in the goings-on are you 4. As the bartender passes the tray to her sister, each and one of you, in turn, gets invited to the red table. Do you accept?
Of course.
Yeah, Ren's got nothing better to do. And there's a drink involved, so sure.
Norma grunts.
Lelio, stop. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Norma, go ahead.
Lelio.
Lelio,
Okay, Norma, go ahead.
Lelio,
Yes, please.
let's
Okay.
Lelio was more interested. Norma is going to be the last one up.
Okay.
Lelio stops the card game that he and Mike had going, and well, they don't really talk much, but they're good at communicating with looks. And yeah, he goes over, and I assume that he would take the shot and then go to the table.
The idea.
Is that how it goes?
So the idea is that you bring the shot to the table, filled. You listen to the client, and should you accept the contract, you down it. Should you feel at the last moment that it is not in your particular skills, or if you want to leave this place to another, You leave the shot, you exit the table, and let the next person stand up.
All right, so I would go ahead at this point and yeah, I'm not completely sure right now. Would Ren be the first to go then? Because I don't want to crash the scene now.
No,
I'm confused right now. Sorry.
don't worry about it. I think each and one of you, in turn, will step up to the table and scoot into the booth. Lilio and Mike, I'm guessing, paired up. Ren, a bit more enthusiastic, jumping off from the fairly high... well, no, this is a halfling bar, so... You know. There are accommodations that are made. So, pop off of the bar stool, saunter up to the red table. Nirma? Same?
Norma grunts while standing up and takes her time, but in the end grabs the glass, slams it on the table in front of her, on the red table, and just sits down.
Okay. Now, actually, where are my manners? I've introduced you this, in some ways, this client to you for, but our audience doesn't know what you all look like. And so, one by one, let's starting with Ren. Who are you? What do you look like?
So Ren is a goblin, a city goblin, which means they have red skin, so they can camouflage well with the brick walls in the city. They have horns, like a bunch of goblins do. It's nothing special. Like little black horns. And they are pretty, like, sturdy. They're muscular, as it comes when you're a boxer and, like, you fight regularly. But they already got that when they were working in the factory, so just build pretty buff. And they have, like, a couple of scars and scratches on their face, and their hands are very, like, they're worker hands. So, yeah, they generally give out the air of a rather rough and gruff person. Just pretty straightforward, not the cleverest, but sturdy drinker.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's go, Lelio.
Yeah. So Lelio looks like an attractive guy, mid-20s, blonde hair, always somehow covering his ears, but if they were uncovered, they would be pointed. And he's wearing a well-maintained but somewhat threadbare suit, and when he's not sitting at the table, he's usually wearing a fedora as well. Yeah, and he can't really hide that he has quite a bit of charisma going on.
Is that charisma something that he turns on, or is it just something just happens to be when he walks in the street, people turn around to look at him?
Yeah, that can happen. He has to somewhat keep it in check, which he doesn't always remember to do, which is something that he it's sort of in his nature to be in the spotlight, and he has to work to turn that down a bit.
No, that is the curse of elven glamour, in a sense. But Mike, just at Lilio's heels.
Mike is a grumpy old human man. Hair clipped short at the sides, but pretty long. As for the rest, he's wearing a hat, or at least he wore one when he entered the room. He's dressed in a dark gray three-piece suit and a long overcoat, which might have been custom made or custom tailored in the beginning, but it's pretty ragged right now. Nothing special about him.
No, but that's what makes him good at what he does, right?
Yes.
As opposed to Lelio, who has difficulty being unseen in a crowd. Mike just disappears. Nirma, last one to join the table.
Norma is not as short as a goblin or a halfling, a goblin or a halfling, but rather short and stocky dwarf. Long, rough-looking hair. Signs that it has been incredibly well maintained and ornately braided in the past, but it hasn't been redone in quite a while. There are flyaways a little bit everywhere, and her hair is brought back to the front, where the whole tapestry of dwarven braiding would usually happen. Flyaways a little bit everywhere, but the markings of the clan are still there.
Not quite yet unkempt, but
it hasn't been groomed in a while. And for the rest, she's wearing some heavy-duty pants, good sturdy leather boots, and something resembling an aviator jacket, fleece all over the inside, good and warm, sturdy leather on the outside, really resistant. Has half gloves to protect her hands, but to keep the tactile finesse that she needs in her fingers. And a couple of belt bags. Some groaning at seams from the overload.
Yeah. I can imagine the clinking of metal pieces jingling in your pockets as you scoot yourself into the booth and find yourself with the other four.
Yeah.
The man in front of you is clearly inexperienced as to what needs to go on. And there's a moment where there's sort of an awkward pause as everybody's just waiting for the first person to speak.
Hello, stranger. So, what brings you here tonight?
Yeah, well, the name's Andros, Nikopoulos. I hold a boxing gym up in Old Town. Well, I don't know. I think there's been a murder. A couple of nights ago, I train kids. You know, they come to me, put them through their paces, giving them some discipline. You know, that I used to do that during the war, you know? So decided that could be useful. You know, give some of those kids on the street purpose. So I had this kid come in. He's been with me for about a couple of months. Good kid, good basic in fighting, you know, and he'd been seen by a couple of scouts going legit, you know, that's... And so, about last week, he was supposed to have his first big fight, right? Went up against a dwarf. Fight went pretty well at first. And then somehow Bryn just knocks him over. Bryn North River, the kid.
Knocks who over? Knocks who over?
Oren, Copper Cloak. That's the name of the fighter. Copper Cloak just doubled over and went out like a light. Kid didn't even hit him that hard. But when the umpire went to count him down, called and knocked out, Copper Cloak just didn't get up. And now Bryn's sitting in the local jailhouse, accused of murder, awaiting trial.
Poor kid.
How do we come in?
Look. Kid's a half-orc. Used to run with one of the gangs down there, the Half-Tooth gang. He always said that he was just a spotter, but police have already made up their minds. They got the guy. And Oren, I mean, he's a guildsman. So they're not gonna let him go. Not on this. Look.
So we're talking a frame job here, you think?
I don't know. All I know is during the war I didn't go to the front. Not with my gamey leg. But I was a drill sergeant. I trained 100,000 kids. Basics, and then they'd sent to the front. I know that a lot of them came back thanking me for how me training them helped them survive. But I just can't shake the feeling that I trained all these kids just to go die. And I don't want that now. I don't want another kid to die because I trained them and I brought them into a war. So, please, could you look into this?
Ren nods vigorously, starts rambling and ranting about the police always fucking over the goblins and orcs and everyone they just don't like because they look the way they look. I'm in.
One drink downed. As you lift and swallow the liquid, this is not a shot to be kept in mouth. This is one that you eagerly throw back, trying to keep its taste, its bitter taste, as little as possible on your taste buds. you can feel very quickly the familiar heat pour into your throat and radiate all over you. Some might say pact sealed, pact signed. Contract accepted. How about the others?
Lelio swallows back the drink and yeah. He doesn't say anything, but you can see in his face that he doesn't like the taste.
Few do.
Mike frowns, but he doesn't have any other choice. So he swallows the bitter pill and the bitter drink.
Norma looks concerned, uneasy, but grabs the drink and throws it back quickly. And looks at him and says, "You've got your crew. We need details now."
Of course. How can I help?
What do you know about this copper cloak? Did he have any enemies? Like, if it wasn't Bryn killing him, someone else must have had their fingers in, right?
I mean, I've seen him a bit around the circuit. I mean, let's be fair, this wasn't the big leagues, right? This was, amateur hour. This is the opening fight for the big nights. But fairly good fighter. I mean, respectful too. Clearly let the kid get in a couple of punches, maybe to crowd the crowd, to rally the crowd up a bit. He could take a hit. But as for enemies, we didn't socialize. Didn't know the guy more than that. But he was kin. I mean, maybe ask around it at the guild. They would know.
Yeah.
Oakbridge, the barrel makers, I think.
Wow. And do you happen to know who or where was training him?
Now to think of it. No. Not at the moment, anyways. He fired his manager a couple of months ago. Never really knew why. Just rumor was general disagreements. Manager wanted to push him a bit to go up to, higher circuits. But Oren was happy to just be in the same.
Sounds to me like a fucking drug experiment.
We'll have to be careful with assumptions. Could have been a way to take him out for commerce, and the guilds aren't clean, They sound very happy, but once you're in, you see them fighting, challenging for the better places. Could be a lot. It could be everything. We can't make assumptions right now.
Yeah, I think we should start at the guild.
Mhm.
Any of you have any contacts there?
Wait a minute. Bryn, your kid. You said he had been doing work for a gang before, even just as a spotter.
Yeah, the
Name of the
half-tooth.
gang? The Half-Tooth?
Half-tooth, yeah.
Okay.
You mean maybe someone in the gang wanted to frame him? Perhaps.
I think at this point we have to gather all the information we can have and then go from there.
I'm just saying we have to look at it from both sides, right? Either someone
Yeah.
wants to take out Bryn or someone wants to take out Coppercloak.
Oops.
If you're looking for Oren's former trainer, his name's Gregory Goldenfield.
So Orin's former training, what were you saying? Sorry, I was busy trying to erase something and I can't do it.
Oh boy, yeah.
Gregory Goldenfield, was it?
Goldenfield, yes. Gregory Goldenfield. Ren,
Oh.
you actually know the name as Boxer. Goldenfield is human, late 60s, sort of a fallen legend. His name was associated with a couple of big title fighters just before the war. But lately has been in search of the new star, right? But never seems to find the right kid or the right person.
I do share this information that I have about that Gregory person.
Okay. So it looks like 3 options to start. Either we go to the guild, the gang, or this golden field.
I would say you could also go to the morgue and go to the kid.
Also.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense to get information about the dead body. Maybe they have figured out something more.
If they have taken the time to look.
If you got everything you need from me, I might just let you to it.
Just where can we find you in case we need more information?
Oh, yeah, I got a gym up in Old Town. He sort of scribbles the address onto one of the beer coasters, and sort of hands it to you. And almost sort of sheepishly, very timid kind of person for someone this size, and sort of moves up, grabs his coat, his hat, and then moves out into the night.
What if
that one
he's
was-
in on it too?
Well,
Wow.
would he come and try to get someone on the case if the police were already involved?
I don't care if he's in on it
Honestly.
too. Like, we have to get that kid out if the kid is innocent. If he's in on it, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and honestly, from what I'm picking up, this guy wouldn't harm a fly outside of the boxing ring. We'll see.
We can always ask about his reputation while we're at it.
Yeah, Ren, you never heard of this guy. I mean, not as anything, fancy.
Yeah.
Not a lot of gyms, not a lot of training places in Old Town. But then again, you've got your own, right?
So this morgue, would that happen to be at a local hospital where I might work?
The what? The more?
The morgue, would it be the local hospital where I'm working?
Well, if the ring was indeed in Old Town, you would have gotten the address anyways of the. No, I don't think that. No, I think this particular meat locker, to say the least, would actually be within the I don't know. You know what? Let's roll the dice on my end here. Ooh. Okay, that's a 0. Not telling me anything. The dice already are just telling me, dude, don't ask us. You're the one in charge of this game. Jeez. Anyways, I think that, yeah, that's maybe a couple of questions further in that you had with Andros. The kid would have been taken to, the closest, police house. The body would have most likely been taken to the nearest. So this would be one of a hospital in Old Town, definitely. You know what? Let's say you would know. I mean, you would easily find out if which hospital the body was being kept. So my answer to you is yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
But yeah, to find that out, we will have to talk to someone else first, because that information wasn't given to us right now about which morgue the body is at.
You would know that the kid was arrested and is currently being kept in the 6th precinct in Old Town.
Mm-hmm.
What do I know about the wait a minute, where's his full name? About the Copper Cloak clan and the because they're a dwarven clan most probably.
Yeah. So the way things organize themselves here in Second City is that you are born in family, but you are grown in guild. Once you come into an adulthood, you are moved into a clan. So Copper Cloak is their name, their given name. Well, not their given name, their family name, let's put it, their clan name. But the guild is, which becomes their real family in a sense, is Oaksbridge. So if you wanted to, while not all contact is lost between him and his relatives, it's understood that guild is guild and families formerly. Yep.
So what's the guild reputation? What's the and what is his family's reputation? Because he might not have lost all contact. He probably hasn't lost all contact, and while the guild is the heart of what he's doing, he might have deeper ties to the Copper Cloaks than. We don't know anything about that guy, so I'm just trying to recall every information I could have on both of them.
Okay. The... Oh, okay. Interesting. So the Oaksbridge are a company fairly well situated here in Second City, in one of the older guilds, and one of those essential guilds, right? As in, whatever is produced, as long as it needs to be either packed or kept, Oaksbridge is the number one firm to make sure that your goods stay safe. They pack for export, mostly dry goods. They don't do much in the alcohol business, right? So a lot of these are packing crates or salt barrels rather than beer or liquor. And that's always been the case, which means that when the prohibition hit, they were not impacted at all.
Okay.
And other barrel makers that had invested in beer or others, those took a real hit. But Oaksbridge is on top. Fairly rich. As for Coppercloak, not sure, really. No. You don't know. Nothing much. It has general reputation.
Which might be information in and out of them itself. It's not one of the foremost or most
No.
known dwarven families.
No. For all you know, he might be he might be an outsider. He might be coming. He might be an immigrant. A lot of people come in just to, find work sometimes.
So where are we gonna start? Ren starts getting nervous, like eager to do something.
To move, yeah. Let's start with knowing how that kid died.
No, the kid's alive. It's the...
Well, yeah, the
Coppercloak.
how Coppercloak died.
Sure. So we're checking for the morgue.
You would be checking for the morgue.
Lelio, can you get us in there?
Well, if it's where I suspect it is, then I do think that I have a certain chance. So, shall we leave?
Let's go have a look.
I should prepare this previously. No matter. I'll just put in, if you want anything with regards to, I'll give you another token here. There you go. There you go. If you want to talk anything about, just reminder right there. At the end of the session, I'll collate everything into specific handouts so that you can consult these at will. Easy. It'll be maybe a bit easier than just having all this sort of a mess on the screen.
What's the green token for?
The green token is, so now you have you've got Andros. This would be, because I can't find a specific token for. This would be for Bryn.
Okay.
And let's
can you
put
find-
yellow for. So.
What was his family name again? North something.
Bryn North River. I'll give you that. that right here.
Can you explain real quick how the conspiracy board works? Because I don't know how to write on it.
Okay, so on the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see a whole series of tools. You have that little arrow, normally a little hand, and you should have a T for text.
Nope.
No?
Me neither. Nope.
I can freehand draw on it, which is why I was confused because this is where I was looking.
That's strange. Nirma, you have one?
Yeah, I have everything. So you've got the arrow, then the hand, then the pencil or
brush?
Brush, and then you have a T for text.
There is
I don't even have the hand.
There is a under the information drop down. There's a draw shape, circle, freehand, polygon, and then there's an eye with text.
Yeah, okay. Use that one.
Yeah, I got it now.
Okay. Yes, I understand. It's because we're not looking at the same user interface. We've got the new ones and you still have the old one. Did it at some point? Look, we'll deal this during. We'll take a little break and then we'll deal with this. Actually, we've been going on. Oh, we can go a bit further.
Yeah.
Before we get to. So, and we've got. I'll just put it. Okay. There we go. You should be able to see the names and the on the token. There we go. To those watching, please be patient. This is our first time using this thing. There's still a lot of painstaking testing that we are currently doing right now. So thank you for your patience. And thank you, my players, for your patience. Right. Okay. So where were you headed first?
The
Hospital.
The morgue.
The
Yeah.
morgue. Yeah.
Okay. Got the idea. As you head out, each grabbing your effects at the door, you step into what is now...
I'm so sorry.
Hmm?
Can you start again because I didn't catch any of it because it froze.
No worries.
I'm so sorry.
Let's just wait. Give me a second here. Come on. Right. As you each in turn sort of step away from the booth, deciding to all go together to the morgue, if I understand that correctly. You grab your coats, hats, caps, whatever, and step out into what has now turned into a light rain. Not but light enough, the kind of rain that would not keep your cat in, but just enough to get your hat wet.
It's a drizzle.
It's a drizzle. But a cold drizzle. As you head your way from these particular streets, we can now sort of get a look at them, right? The Poltergeist is situated in an area where just on the edge of Newtown, it's that area built. It's where old money and old riches meet new squalor. It's a place that was built rich, but has long been abandoned. The houses are of excellent build, but have been broken up into single apartments or overpacked with people who were just looking for shared rent. But as you move towards Old Town, moving up north, the winds coming into you, you start seeing little by little this eclectic architecture turn to something much more regular. Old Town was built by the dwarves at the initial settlement of Second City. And they have a very strict, traditional way of doing things. Their buildings, if you didn't know any better, would look identical one to another. These solid stone blocks just lined up. Yeah, Nirma, you know better. But I don't think many of these... Well, maybe Ren, you would have been inside a few dwarven households. But that's not why I'm seeing you there. Not what you think. The Old Town looms over, in a sense. It's this... The architecture seems dead. Old stone as opposed to something organic. This is mineral. This is rock. This is stable. This is, in a sense. Lelio, you're leading the march, right? You know where this thing is. Where your destination is.
Yeah. So, as we're passing to this part of town, we're coming up finally to a hospital, and I seem to know my way around here. It's obvious that I've been here before. I lead our little crew inside, and I say hello to the nurse who's behind some sort of maybe front desk. I would think.
The place you lead to is less a hospital and more of a hospice. It is being held by medical professionals, yes, but more of a vocational or holistic order. These are not quite nuns or priests or clerics of some sort, but the hospital is sacred in a sense, holy place for some. And the vocation of this particular religion is to heal and to take care. So this serves as both hospital, nursing home, morgue. The woman behind the counter recognizes you. Like, oh, Lelio, it's been a while. She looks at you with this sort of... There's an admiration there. There are puppy eyes behind there. She's quite young. That is definitely linked to your glamour more than anything that she would know about you. Because you've only met her once or twice in her fairly short life. So... it's quite late. Are you taking a shift tonight?
No. You know, I usually work mornings. It's Marie, isn't it?
She sort of blushes as you remember her name.
Yeah. No, you know, the thing is, I think I forgot something downstairs this morning as I left, and I was wondering if I could maybe go down and just check if it's there. Don't mind my friends, we're just passing through, really. If
Okay.
you think you could just let me through. I know it's a bit unusual at this time of day. So I would probably roll something right now.
You will. So what would be your approach here? Are you careful, clever, flashy, forceful, quick, or sneaky?
Yeah, I think probably flashy.
Right. Okay. So act with style and panache. So as you say this, you probably sort of step up, put your elbow to the onto the desk, fist under the chin. Yeah. Okay. Let's go for it.
Okay.
I would actually say, if you wish, you may spend. Remember, you have your aspects that you can use to boost your roll. So, once you've seen the roll, you can always invoke one of your aspects to either re-roll or add a +2. But this is done after the roll. So, but remember, you have those aspects, and they will cost you a fate point. But we'll get to that in a moment. So let's start with that roll.
Yeah.
Ouch!
I rolled a 3.
That's a 3. So a 3 is good. Okay. Do you want to compound that and add a little bit more, or are you happy with that?
I think I'm happy with that.
Okay. Mary, is that what you called her?
Yeah, Marie.
Marie.
Something
Okay.
like that, yeah.
Marie sort of, again, is a bit, not necessarily taken aback, but she's a bit, maybe a little bit,
Dazzled?
yeah, dazzled. I like that word. But not enough to make her completely fall head over heels, right? He says, oh, yeah, of course. I'm not sure that I can, I mean, I can let in, of course, but I'm not so sure about your friends. There's still people working down there, and if they were seen, I can't let anyone in, you know that, even for you. But I think maybe one.
I'll just wait here.
Yes, I can
grumble
wait
and-
outside as well.
I grumble and lean against the wall. I have no. I don't need to go further into this building.
So I'm looking at my little crew and wondering which one of these is the best choice to come down with me. And actually look at that body, because I have no idea about these things, and
All right, I'll come.
I'm not
Okay.
It's
really-
fine.
Yeah, I think our one of our veterans would probably be the best choice, and yeah, I'm giving Mike a little sign with my head. So you come in.
Sure, whatever.
Okay. So we will
Okay.
be back in a moment, I think, and we'll
She-
try to make this
yeah.
quick.
As you walk past the desk, taking a left towards the stairs, heading downwards to the morgue, Nirma and Ren, there is no shame in Marie's gaze as she just watches Lilio sort of walk past her. And that sort of... And then as soon as Lilio's sort of out of sight, sort of maybe shakes her head and looks to you two, points you to a series of seats, chairs in a waiting room, and goes back to paperwork or most likely a light novel. Most likely a light novel hidden behind paperwork.
Classic.
I slump down in one of the chairs and like look around, taking in the
Okay.
corridor, I guess.
Yeah, Norma's has taken a seat and is aware of everything happening around her while she's fiddling again with the two strings and a screwdriver and well, you don't really know what kind of things she has in her hand, what the objective is of those this tinkering, but she's tinkering something.
Okay. Yeah, your where this hospice or this hospital is set up is very much in the Havland Quarter. So most of the patients either waiting in here or are being sort of looked into by the resident nurses, and this is an ER room, right? Are mostly halflings, which is a good point to make, where a good time to show that our halfling bartenders are not an exception as being twins. No, halflings in this world are born as twins. Twins are the norm. And for legal reasons, are usually considered the same, one and the same. So you have many mirrored faces around this waiting room right now, with a scattering of human, sometime goblins as well. But those are more of a rare variety here. Place is clean. Place is decent. Not overly extravagant, but enough. As our taller poltergeists step down, Lelio, you know these stairs. You've done them 1,000 times. You could get to the morgue with your eyes closed. Mike, however, you notice that as soon as you step down the stairs, the walls are less well kept. There's a bit more, not dust, but the age of the building shows. Cracks in the plaster. Light fittings that would need to be replaced. They still work with gas rather than electricity. It gives this eerie sort of bluish tint to the corridor. Not a soul in sight for now. But then you notice towards the end of the hall 2 doors. Fairly large ones. Big enough so that a gurney might be taken through one another. One you recognize, Lelio, as the elevator to the bottom floor, to the street floor. And the other one is the morgue. There is light coming in through underneath the door. And just a shadow to indicate that somebody is there and moving about.
Alright, so with Mike at my heels, I think I would simply get inside of that room and just see who's there and what I will do about them.
Okay.
So, Lilio, can you kind of produce a decoy?
I actually stop before I step in and look at Mike as he makes this suggestion, sort of considering it for a moment and thinking, yeah, probably that might be a wise idea. Yeah, I can do that, but do you think you can take a look at the body if I do that?
I think so. If I can find it.
If you can find it, well, I hope there's not that many inside of that age and build. So you just step at the end of the corridor, and I will see what I can do.
Oh wait, just make sure nobody gets in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I step in alone, and well, who's in there?
As
What
you
do I
open the
see?
door, you find a there's a single figure standing over a fairly this is a censoring trick that they use at CSI and other shows like that. A very bright light at the center of the room over a body. Just, that very bright light that oversaturates the film so that you can't see the certain parts of the anatomy. You tell me, what lineage are they? What race would they be?
Oh, well, it is mostly a halfling hospital, right? So probably it would be a halfling.
Okay.
But probably it would be 2 halflings as these things go.
Well, this is where it gets. You only see one. So what you thought was maybe a high silhouette, maybe man-sized, is actually a pair of halfling shoulders over a fairly a series of step stool that brings over to the over the body. The body is human, about, from what you can see, at least from the head, male, late 40s. But the first thing that you see is that they have to your side, basically, you can see that half of the face has been sort of torn off. You can see the teeth where the halfling sort of on top. Now I need to find these two names. Okay, there we go. He's the halfling sort of turns around, and in their older years, right? Halflings have a lifespan pretty much equivalent to humans, so this would be, again, middle-aged, 40s or 50s. They have a sort of their beard sort of peppered with white, as opposed to the rest of the red hair. They have a white streak on the left-hand side of the beard, very sort of short cropped. And as they turn around, there's a moment where they look at you. Can I help you?
All right, so I actually try not to look at the half torn off face, because I don't like seeing those things. I don't enjoy that. Who does, really? So instead I focus on the halfling, whatever the job name is, I can't think of it right now.
Mortician.
On the mortician, yeah. Hello. Well, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I have been sent from upstairs. There's actually someone has died right now, and they need you to have a look at them. Because well, it has been sort of ugly. There's been some sort of explosion. I just managed to step away in time, so maybe you can come with me for a moment.
The halfling sort of. Could you make me a?
A throw?
Yeah, a throw. Let's make this. Let's make this. Well, I don't. I think you have a. I would tend to saying sneaky, but maybe you have something else.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I
Can you
would
repeat that?
I would actually go maybe suggest sneaky, but I believe that. Okay, yeah, yeah. So, what would you use? Is this flashy? Is this sneaky? Is this clever? What do you think?
Yeah, I think. Well, I would like to think that it's flashy, but it's probably more like clever or sneaky.
I would actually
So,
say sneaky in this case.
Let's-
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's go with sneaky.
Okay. So that's a 2. So that's fair. Ooh, okay. The halfling sort of looks you sort of up and down. And say, Terry, can you come out here? And from one of the other sort of parts of there's an office situated at the back. You see the identical mirror image of this halfling, except the white streak in the beard is on the right. And then, Terry, yes, Ben? This young man here is telling me that there's been an explosion upstairs and that there are bodies everywhere for us to look at. Ben sort of turns to Terry and says, I'm sure there is. Have you heard anything about an explosion? Maybe, No, I haven't. No, me neither did I. Don't worry, young man. We're used to private investigators coming down here ever so often, so... Tell me, whose case are you working on today?
Hear me again? Yes, now you can hear me. Okay. Yeah, my well-trained smile slips off for a moment with surprise at this whole dialogue, but yeah, I put it back on, and it's more honest now. And what I'm saying is, well, yeah, apologies for that. I had to try.
No,
So,
it's fair game, and we love these. Terry's been actually collating a series of these make-up stories, and we're counting on publishing them soon. Memoirs of the Morgue, as we're gonna call them.
I could probably I could come here more often, I think. But anyway, the thing is, I'm here because there should have been a body that came in during the last few days. He died in a boxing match. A dwarf. Name was let me just. What was his name? Coppercloak?
Coppercloak.
You wouldn't happen to have him here, right?
Terry, do we have a Coppercloak? Terry replies, well, Ben. Oh, we do. Number 39.
You're lovely.
Terry sort of says, oh, 39. Oh, then I might actually need a bit of your help, young man. That one's actually quite up. And sort of saunters down. This is a morgue that is not built for halfling. This is a morgue that was built by humans to very much standards. And so goes, I'm saying, that one up there. Don't worry. Terry, get the gurney.
Yeah, while that's going on, I step outside and I give Mike a wave to just come in, please.
Oh,
Mike is indeed a little puzzled, but of course he follows.
You've heard
Being
all of
very
this
polite.
conversation. You've heard this whole conversation behind the door.
Okay.
All right, okay. So I'm going in, smiling, apologizing for, well, but at least we tried.
Yeah.
And
Is
yes,
that-
helping to get the box open.
Ben sort of looks up to us. And what would have been your story if you had come in? Terry turned to, not the time, and it has to be natural. You know the rules. Come on. You just can't ask that. Let's bring it in. You know what? Go get the report. As the
Yes.
one of the two sort of saunters off back into the office. It takes the three of you to basically move this very heavy figure from the gurney onto one of the tables. In the meantime, the premier corpse that we had seen has been covered up, and the light turned off and then turned on again to the next one. While this place has electricity, maybe not enough to light all the lights together. The cloth is sort of peeled away, respectfully, just sort of up to the hips. You know, this goes out on network TV, so. And lies before you Orin Coppercloak. The Terry or Ben, who cares at this point, sort of opens up the report and says, "Well, let's see here. Orin Coppercloak, guildsman, 52 years of age, a series of calluses to the hands, bruises to... It basically goes through a series of basically wounds and scars throughout the whole body, in a sense. And Mike, at first, nothing really stands out. I mean, okay, he's been battered and bruised, but nothing... But there is a couple of things. Mike, do you examine the body?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I'd probably ask them what the sheet says about the actual cause of death.
Okay. So let's go for you first. Make me a careful roll, and Lilo, you can actually do the same if you're looking into it.
Yeah, I'm looking from a bit further away, but I am taking a look, of course.
Okay. Maybe you're looking at the report.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the report because that's not telling me anything.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Cool.
Unless there's pictures in it. Was careful,
Careful.
right?
That's yeah, Mike. So that's a 2, and that's also a 2. Okay, interesting. Would you want to? Because I'm looking at your rolls here. 2 plus is 2. Okay. Mike, do you want to spend a fate point, and maybe use an aspect to boost that to a 4?
I didn't get that. What did you say?
So you can use a fate point. So spend a fate point to use an aspect. So let's see what kind of aspects that you have.
Not really.
Oh, well, the Morley Gray sharpshooter. So I don't really think that this would apply. Had you put veteran, for example, that could have been maybe done something with regards to, but okay, nonetheless. You know, this is where things can start going your way as a player rather than me being the GM. technically, I might have an idea as how Copper Cloak was killed, but you could tell me, oh, this is a film noir. I will try to create an aspect, and maybe one of his aspects was he was poisoned or something along those lines. So,
You're breaking up.
I would love to be. Oh
are we breaking up?
no,
You were breaking up.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
We're hearing you again. I'm sorry.
Okay. No worries.
Okay.
No worries. Please let me know.
I was going to say it's a film noir. They're morticians. They are conspiracy they are very heavy into the conspiracy and into the police don't listen to us, but we know better. And they found something that the police didn't put in their report.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see about that. Why don't you so you want to create an aspect for them, basically.
For Ben and Terry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say yeah, so take what's your highest
Clever.
clever. Okay, why don't you roll me a clever? And let's try and create a new aspect for these two.
Like me. Or no.
No, I do it.
Ah, she can do it, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's a 5.
Nice. Yeah.
Right. So that actually is going to be you are not only going to create let's see. I mean, I'm going to consider that it was a moderately difficult because I like the idea. So you create an aspect. So basically, you now have, and I will write. Where are you all? You are on. Right here. Okay. And I will write down aspects. The aspect would be. Gossip mongers. Gossip morticians, and you actually have 2 uses, free uses of this aspect. So what does that mean? Is that should you interact with them, you could call on that particular aspect, Gossip Morticians, twice free. You don't have to spend any of your fate points to invoke that aspect. Does that make sense? Okay. So, thank you, Nirma, for setting this up.
I mean, we're in a film noir, right?
We are in a film noir. We're in a film noir. Right, so.
So yes, then let's do it, right?
Yes, so I turn away from the body to my 2 new mortician friends, and I start chatting a bit. So I guess the police has already been here. What did they think about this whole thing?
No. We've had quite a few people come in for this particular one. He sort of one of them sort of turns towards Mike as you've been looking over the body. We'll get to the conversation in a second, but I want to honor the first roll. Mike, as you look about through the body, as I said, there's not a lot that you would have noticed that apart from the contusions and other bruises, though there is something of a rash on the arm, one of the forearms of the. You're not exactly sure what that might be. On the other end, as you are chatting about Lelio, there's no mention of a rash, for example, in the report. Something omitted in a seemingly fairly. I mean, even the shaving cuts on the side, the sides have been mentioned, but that particular rash, which is fairly significant.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm dyslexic, so I can't read it.
Fair. But you start chatting, and that's where we're.
Yeah, I start chatting because that's why I'm starting to chat, because that's what helps me.
Yeah, no. We've had many people come down. We've had guild members, senior guild members. We've had the family. We've had the police. Any number of combinations, actually. No, it's been. I think they're tired of us. I mean, technically, we should be off shift, but we were kind of hoping to work a little bit more on the body here. But poor Jeremy there sort of points to the other member of the corp. Has been taking up most of our time now, so haven't been able to look too far into it. But yeah, no. Actually, we haven't been able to really, apart from just cataloging the bruises, and there were a few. I mean, man was a boxer, right? We haven't been able to really work on him yet. Just been bothered day and night now for the past 2 days.
That sounds really stressful. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Don't be.
I should pay you a visit more often, I think.
You do that. You do that. Yeah. And every time bring in a new story, huh? Just to pad it a bit.
Yeah.
We've only got 3 so far. Well, maybe more, but some of them were maybe a bit more convincing. Maybe a few got away, actually.
Yeah, that wasn't my best effort back then.
Terry grabs your hand and goes, There, don't think about yourself that way. Come on. We're professionals at this and kind of expecting it, so we're a tough crowd.
That's true. And a tough crowd is always a chance to grow. So, about the body, you say that you didn't really get around to do any a lot of the work yet. The thing is, there has been some talk about this death being quite unexpected. So, what do you think from looking at it? Do you think that there might have been like maybe something like poison at
Are
play,
you expecting?
or was it maybe just a heart attack? Just your professional opinion.
Are we expecting foul play here? Oh, did you hear that, Terry? Oh, I heard that. So, foul play, huh? I mean, we still have to take care of Jeremy. I don't know. We're supposed to get him ready for the funeral tomorrow. Fix him up a bit. Mortician is just not all, police reports and mysteries, right? Some of this is very mundane. Yeah. Old man here had his boiler explode on him. Yeah.
I think Lilia might help you on that, or we might help you on that. Like, we prepare Jeremy over there while you work on our customer.
I shoot you a very dirty look.
Huh. Oh. You have any experience in cleaning bodies?
Somewhat.
I mean, sure. Yeah, okay. You can already start with the sponges. There's a couple over there in a basin. Then what you want to do is afterwards sort of dry him off, and then we'll get to the actual makeup and restructuring. I think we still have enough clay, or we'll just have to put him. Just
Yeah.
his
Just
left side is
don't
pretty
worry.
much. His left side's still pretty much. So we can just
Yeah.
maybe move the head to the side to hide most of them.
Yeah.
They want an
it's-
open
I
coffin.
think we can manage. We can manage, I guess.
Okay, yeah, sure. Like I said, sponges are over there, and yeah, let's get to work, Terry. Yeah, Ben, let's get to work.
Okay, I think at this point, I take Mike just to the side for a moment, and I'm like, okay, if we're really doing this, and by the way, I hate you. We should probably tell our partners upstairs that this will be a while, and it might make sense for them to check out some other leads. Unless one of them feels prepared to, I don't know, fix up and clean a dead body from a boiler explosion.
Well, yeah, you hurry upstairs and tell them while I remodel our friend here.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
As Lelio, Lelio, as you sort of exit the room, maybe take a deep breath in anticipation of what you might do, and head upwards, we are going to take a little break. Right here.
Yes.
So, friends, foes, and all in between, go stretch your legs, pour yourself a glass of your poison of choice, and we will see you in part 2 of this chapter. See you in a moment.